Hey guys, in this lesson, we're going to take a look at the care plan for aortic aneurysms. So in this lesson, we'll briefly take a look at the pathophysiology and etiology of an aortic aneurysm. We're also going to take a look at additional things that would be included in this care plan, like subjective and objective data, as well as nursing interventions and rationales for those interventions. Okay, so an aortic aneurysm occurs when the aorta is under extreme high pressure, typically from hypertension, and this causes the wall of the vessel to weaken, causing dilation or outpouching of the vessel that is extremely weak. This causes turbulent flow and creates a very high risk for rupture. Aneurysms are classified by location, being either thoracic or abdominal. And there are different types, including fusiform, saccular, dissecting, and false, and we will take a look at those in more detail later. So most commonly, aortic aneurysms are caused by hypertension, but they also can be related to connective tissue disorders, Marfan syndrome, and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So the desired outcome is to manage the patient's blood pressure to prevent worsening or rupture of. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the subjective and objective data that your patient with an aortic aneurysm may present with. Now remember, subjective data, these are going to be things that are based on your patient's opinions or feelings. So for aortic aneurysms, this might include chest pain, and they might explain it as a burning feeling that radiates to their back, shoulder, abdomen, flank, or groin. They might say they are weak or fatigued because of low cardiac output, and also shortness of breath. Objective or measurable data includes a visible or palpable pulsating abdominal mass with a systolic bruit. Other objective data includes decreased cardiac output, blood pressure, pulses, level of consciousness, and urine output. Objective data that shows an increase would be heart rate. The skin might be cool, pale, and diaphoretic, and you might also see a hematoma on the patient's flank. Okay, let's look at some of the necessary nursing interventions for an aortic aneurysm. A full pain assessment is necessary to find out how quickly the pain came on, because sudden onset of pain may indicate a rupture. Find out if the pain radiates, because aneurysms tend to radiate to the back and abdomen, and severe pain may indicate a worsening aneurysm. A full abdominal assessment is also critical, as abdominal aortic aneurysms, or AAAs, can be seen and felt by a pulsating object in the abdomen, and a bruit can be heard. Remember, inspection for a visible pulsation, auscultation for a systolic bruit, and palpation for pulsation and tenderness. Okay, assessing vital signs and hemodynamics is super important, because with aortic aneurysms, cardiac output can be compromised and needs to be watched closely for signs of deterioration in the patients. Remember, peripheral perfusion may be decreased, so monitor for cool, clammy skin with a slow capillary refill. Managing pain is also an important part of the aortic aneurysm care plan, as this issue can create a lot of pain in the patient, which can be described as burning or tearing. So position the patient for comfort, and of course, administer any necessary analgesics if needed. So in addition to analgesics, antihypertensives are necessary for controlling blood pressure, which is top priority. The goal is to decrease the pressure on the walls of the aorta, and maintaining a MAP or mean arterial pressure, which is sufficient enough to perfuse the body, which is typically a value of greater than 65 millimeters of mercury. To monitor for evidence of rupture, assess the patient for sudden, severe pain that radiates to the back, flank, or groin, or a hematoma on the flank, and also for signs of shock, which are going to be decreased blood pressure, increased heart rate, decreased pulses, slow capillary refill, cool, pale, clammy skin. If a patient has a ruptured aneurysm, they must go to the OR immediately. This is emergent to prevent death from hemorrhage. In other cases, a patient may be sent to the cath lab or the OR for repair. Okay, guys, here is a look at a completed aortic aneurysm care plan. Okay, before we end this lesson, I just wanted to quickly review the different types of aneurysms. A fusiform aneurysm, it occurs with dilation that involves the entire circumference. Saccular is indicated by a localized outpouching. Dissecting occurs when pressure tears the lining of the vessel away from the outer layer and blood gets trapped between the layers and decreases distal blood flow. And finally, false aneurysms are when a clot forms outside the vessel wall. Okay, let's do a quick review. An aortic aneurysm occurs with weakening of the wall of the aorta, causing an outpouching or dilation, turbulent flow, and possible rupture. The most common cause is hypertension, connective tissue issues, Marfan syndrome, and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Subjective data includes radiating chest pain, shortness of breath, weakness, and fatigue. Objective data includes a visible pulsating mass, systolic bruit, decreased cardiac output, BP, and increased heart rate. Assess the patient for their onset of pain. Assess the abdomen for signs of aneurysm. Assess peripheral perfusion because of decreased cardiac output, and assess vital signs for a worsening condition. Finally, manage the patient's pain, administer analgesics, antihypertensives, and prepare the patient for OR or the cath lab to repair the aneurysm if necessary.
Thanks for watching another nursing.com lesson. Click the link below in the description to watch thousands more lessons over on nursing.com. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe and the little bell to make sure you're reminded when new lessons come out. And if you want to just keep watching more lessons, go ahead and click this video over here to continue learning. Like we always say here at nursing.com, happy nursing.